Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 42nd part of What If Deku Was a Magical Girl Mascot. Quirk, Magical Girl Mascot. The author of this great fanfic is Emma Ively. Links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 42, Camping Trip. Coming home from Island kind of sucked, not because of anything involving the cancelled expo but because of leaving Melissa behind. It was clear that things were not going good for her on Island. A lot of people had started avoiding her due to the actions of her father. However, their nightly conversations were relief for her as she did have the support she needed along with the occasional video chats and emails. Even with their new friend having a bad time, there were other things to worry about. After all, there was the training camp to worry about. And so they all gathered for the camp outside of school. So have your awkward dorks have your official first date yet? Teased Mina. Now's not the time to be asking that. Yelled Achiko, embarrassed as she held her boyfriend who was in his animal form. Oh, so have you or haven't you? Teased Ashido. Ashido. Stop trying to get information if they had their first official date yet. Scolded Tenya. What did I hear that you're dating? That's kind of pathetic. Said Monoma, showing up. Are you just saying that because you can't get a girl? Asked Ashido. Monoma glared at her. No, because I doubt anyone in my class would be interested in such things. We are trying to be heroes after all. Said Monoma, not to mention that 5 of you failed at Kama. And you have to take extra classes. Joke's on you. Neither one failed. Said Ashido. I bet you failed. Mocked Monoma. Ashido gritted her teeth in anger. That was when Kendo showed up and chopped in the back of the neck. The rest of Class 1B noticed them were interesting in being at camp with them. All right. Our bus is here. Everyone board by class seating arrangement. Said Tenya. And so they got onto the bus. The bus ride was loud and rambunctious with Aizawa sighing as this. But he let them be since it would be the last chance they would get to be like this. After a while they got to a rest stop. Where's the bathroom? Asked Mineta, who really had to pee. This isn't a normal rest stop. Said Aizawa. Considering there aren't any buildings. Muttered Jiro. That was when they noticed a nearby car. Long time see ya, racer. Said a voice. They turned to see 2 female heroes, both dressed up in matching outfits, introducing themselves as 2 members of the Wild Pussycats. There was also a little boy with them who looked rather sullen. Oh wow! I know them! Said Izuku, perched on Tenya's shoulder, as they were sitting next to each other on the bus. They're a team who specialize in mountain rescues. They've been around since we were little and... You might be adorable, but I'll have to know that I'm 18 at heart. Said the member who was blonde wearing a sky blue costume named Pixie Bob. Of course. Said Izuku, nodding, trying not to panic at this. All right. Said the other member, a woman with Borna hair wearing red named Mandalay. The camp is at the foot of that mountain over there. Izuku activated his telepathy to everyone who was there. Guys. I have a bad feeling about this. Thought Izuku. Yeah. I'm getting that feeling too. Thought Katsuki. Should we head back to the bus? Asked Tsuyu. Let's see what's going to happen first. Thought Izuku. It's about 9:30 now, it should take about 3 hours to get there. Get to the bus. Thought Izuku. And they weren't the only ones who realized this. The rest of the class were heading back to the bus. However, Mandalay cut them off. By the way, the training camp starts now. Said Aizawa. That was when the ground beneath them suddenly started to move and they were all dumped off the cliff that they were on. So? Said Katsuki out loud to Izuku. Pixie Bob has the ability to control Earth. Said Izuku, who then transformed into his human form, knowing that it would be needed for whatever was going on. You could have said or thought that earlier. Yelled Katsuki. Sorry. Cried Izuku. If you don't get to the camp in by 12:30 then you won't get lunch. Called out Mandalay. Also this is private land so you can use your quirks freely. Well, that's good to know, said Katsuki. Just be careful in the forest of beasts. Called out Mandalay. Forest of beasts? Asked Kaminari. That sounds like a location of a fantasy game. Bathroom. 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 Yelled Mineta. He really had to go pee. That was when they heard something in the forest and a large gray creature appeared. Mineta started to shake a lot. However, he also really didn't need to use the bathroom anymore. Kota decided to try to pacify that creature. However, the creature tried to attack the rock-headed boy. Thankfully, Izuku activated Shoto's quirk and created an ice wall, saving Kota from the creature. I don't think that's a normal animal, said Izuku. All right. You girls ready? Asked Katsuki, knowing it was better to transform. The other members of the team all nodded, knowing that whoever this was they needed to transform. All 6 of them transformed. Though Toru's transformation surprised most of the class. Hagakure? Asked Ojiro, surprised due to the well, both being a magical girl invisible. Yep. I'm now a visible magical girl. Cheered Toru. That's amazing, said Ojiro. Toru giggled at his reaction. Wait, is there anything you can do against them? Asked Kaminari, remembering Island. Of cruise, said Toru. She summoned her wand, which had a silver handle, and on top of it was a glittering rainbow. She went out a rainbow-colored beam that hit the strange creature hard. I found out that I can control light like this, said Toru. All right, cheered Achiko. Katsuki then took out her own wand and blew up the monster with it. All right. Don't just stand around, she yelled out. Did all of you needed to transform? Asked Kaminari with a sweat drop. However, they heard more noises. They saw that there were more rock creatures. I believe that answers your question, said Tsuyu. We can't take them alone, yelled Katsuki. She's right. We all have to fight them, said Izuku. The non-magical girl members of the class all agreed. And they were fighting against the rock creatures. Achiko managed to increase the gravity of a few of them, with them started to crumble. Izuku jumped in and blew them up. Meanwhile, Kirishima decided to fight off a few. One tried to attack him from behind, however Katsuki protected him from the attack. At the same time, with Toru she hit a few with her wand attack. Then Ojiro showed and finished them off with his moves. At the same time, Tenya summoned her wand and used it, slowed down several of them. Tsuyu jumped in along with Tokoyami to fight them off, with Tsuyu using her tongue and Tokoyami using Dark Shadow. Meanwhile, Shoto covered an entire area in her steam. While this was going on, Momo set off some bombs off to get rid of them. Come on. Let's go, yelled Izuku. They knighted their way to the camp. This went on for hours, however all of them eventually made several hours so that they did miss lunch. All of them were tired from this big fight. But since they were safe, the magical girls transformed back. Sorry about that. I guess we judged the time by how long we would have made it through the forest, said Mandalay. They all glared at Mandalay. But you did a good job, yelled Pixie Bob, especially you. She pointed at Izuku. Me? Squeaked out Izuku. You're perfect, yelled Pixie Bob. I heard about your quirk, and when you're of age I want a bond. What? Yelled Izuku, confused. It will be perfect, said Pixie Bob. Izuku was horribly confused. Wait. Are you talking about marriage too? Yelled Achiko. Maybe, said Pixie. Sorry, but Izuku was mine. said Achiko, overcoming her usual awkwardness in order to defend her boyfriend from her. Achiko, said Izuku, blushing. Oh, come on. Why have you when he can have me? Said Pixie Bob. That's not normal, groaned Aizawa. She's getting at that age, sighed Mandalay. Once she stopped bothering Izuku. Izuku noticed the sullen boy and remembered having seen him earlier. I was wondering, said Izuku, who is he? Mandalay knew he was referring to the boy. This is Kota. He was my cousin's son, but he lives here now, explained Mandalay. Izuku walked over to the boy. Hello, my name is Izuku Midoriya, it's nice to meet you, Kota, said Izuku, going over to shake the boy's hand. That was when Kota punched him right in the nuts. Of course, such an attack shocked Izuku that he transformed back into his animal form. What the? Yelled Kota, confused. Izuku! Yelled Tenya, running towards him and picking up the down Mascot. A punch to the scrotum is unforgivable. However, Kota was just confused at what just happened. What kind of quirk do you have, kid? Asked Katsuki. What? Asked Kota. You turned my best friend into that, said Katsuki, who decided to mess with the kid. Turn him back now. I didn't turn him into that, yelled Kota. Katsuki, stop messing him, said Shoto with a sweat drop. I swear I didn't turn him into that, yelled Kota. His quirk transforms him into that, it's actually his default form, said Suyu, who knew how to talk to kids thanks to the fact that she often had to take care of her youngest siblings. What a stupid quirk, said Kota. All right. You get your things off the bus. After dinner you can take a bath, said Aizawa. After doing just that, they all ate dinner. Tonight we cooked dinner, but starting tomorrow night it will up to you, said Pixie Bob. Everyone happily ate dinner. However, as he ate, he saw how Kota seemed to glare at everyone. After dinner almost everyone was taking a bath. The only two that weren't were Shoto and Tenya, as they felt unconformable bathing with the other due to the fact that they were uncomfortable seeing the girls naked, even though physically they were girls themselves, and really didn't want the other guys to look at them, so they were allowed to take theirs once one of the baths were free. In the boys' bath, Mineta looked at the wall. He knew what was on the other side. The girls' bath. Don't do it, Mineta, yelled Kaminari. What? I thought you would be on my side, yelled Mineta. Yeah, but Bakugo is on the other side, and she will murder you, yelled Kaminari / Mineta still looked at the wall. You know, I lived a good life, and it would totally be worth it, said Mineta. He used his quirk to climb up the wall to take a peek. However, when he got up to the wall he wasn't able to get that peek, because Kota had stopped him and he crashed right back down. Seriously? You're supposed to be turning to be a hero and you do stuff like this, said Kota. Thanks so much, called out Mina, good job. He turned to the 7 girls of the class. Thanks to Ashido doing a rather sexy pose, he ended up falling off the wall. Izuku saw him fall and his heroic instincts kicked him. He activated Tenya's quirk and managed to catch him, though he did trip after he caught him. Is he okay? Asked Kirishima. I don't know, said Izuku. He took him inside the main building. Tenya and Shoto, who were waiting for a bath to open, saw Izuku carrying the boy who was unconscious. What happened? Asked Tenya. It's a long story, said Izuku. They decided to follow him as they didn't have anything else better to do. He probably fainted while falling, he should be fine, said Mandalay. Thank you catching him. Izuku had switched to animal form after getting him to safety, as he felt weird being in nothing but a towel in front of a pro hero. He was used to being naked in animal form. Aizawa warned me that there was an avatar of pure lust in your class, said Mandalay. You have no idea," muttered Shoto with Tenya nodding in agreement. "I was wondering if he's okay," said Izuku. "He just seems so angry, and he doesn't seem to like us very much." Mandalay sighed. "He doesn't like heroes very much," she explained. This surprised the three. "Really, why?" asked Izuku. "It's because of Kota's parents. Mandalay's cousin. They were heroes too," said Pixie Bob entering the room, "but they died in the line of duty." Both Shoto and Tenya flinched when she said that. After all, both of them had heroes in their family. Mandalay told the three about how they died a couple years beforehand, and it shattered Kota's world when, and it was worse, everyone talked about how his parents died nobly. Both Tenya and Shoto noticed the look on their partner's face. It was clear to them that Izuku wanted to help the boy, though for the moment they weren't sure how. Still, the training camp had begun, but none of them were aware of what was going to happen during that camp, or what they were going to lose during the camp. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 43. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.